Hi there, good day. Welcome back to the channel. If you're hearing me speaking English, do not adjust your dial. It is on purpose as we are doing aKING this week. So in respect of the artist, we will be doing the lyrical breakdown in Afrikaans, in English and not in Afrikaans. We will be doing Facebrick constellations for the first video. It is off the Against All Odds album. Almost needed a bachelor's degree in literature to break this one down, so got my papers. Let's get right into the track. 1, 2, 3, go!
The glue of the community cuts the circulation. Clumsy fingers clutching detonators. A mediocre massacre rattles the floorboards. A prophet's promise rapturing the ribcage.
Okay, so he says, the glue of the community cuts the circulation. Clumsy fingers clutching detonators. A mediocre massacre rattles the floorboards. A prophet's promise rapturing the ribcage. Wow! First, I want to point out the wonderful use of alliteration in the first 4 lines. It's the glue of the community cuts. A community cuts the circulation. Clumsy fingers clutching detonators. A mediocre massacre rattles the floorboards. A prophet's promise rapturing the ribcage. Beautifully written. So now if you go a little bit deeper in the first line, where he says the glue of the community cuts the circulation, it's this whole first verse you get almost the idea of all is not as it seems in suburbia. You know, you walk past the people's houses and like, hello, but when they go back into their house, it's a different story. In Afrikaans, they will almost now say, elke huis het sy kruis. Versier, fantastic. So yeah, the first line where it says the glue of the community cuts the circulation, meaning these close-knit communities where everybody is in tune to each other is busy strangling you, and then clumsy fingers clutching detonators. Basically, where a clumsy finger clutching a detonator, unknowingly the bubble will burst at some point or another. That's basically what I'm getting from that. A mediocre massacre rattles the floorboards. What you can take out of that line is, they're downplaying a massacre there. So a mediocre massacre rattles the floorboards. So you don't have to take it in the, the literal meaning of a massacre. If you think of someone's house, a massive fight just broke out and everybody's off to where they want to go. Son's off to his room, mom and dad go to the kitchen and forgetting about the baby on the floor. No, I'm joking. Then the absolute best part of the whole verse, a prophet's promise rapturing the ribcage. Now there's a play on words on rapture, because if you take it in a literal sense of the word of the sentence, is a prophet's promise is rapturing the ribcage, meaning what was said is going to happen has broken this person's heart, raptured the ribcage. Or if you think of a prophet and the rapture, which is when the Bible will talk about the second coming and all that stuff. So someone said that this will happen. It's a beautiful play on words. This heartache basically has been foretold. Let's carry on.
Murder to the mechanical hits, fight through the written laws and paper trail.
say, ashes to the heartburn of the second class, murder to their mechanical hips, fire to their rigid lawns and paper trails, panic to the sprawling metropolis. So that's almost like the pre-chorus, and then what they mean by the first line there, where they say ashes to the heartburn of the second class. Now, I had a little bit of trouble dissecting that one, but the thing that I can think of is first they make the play on the old saying of ashes to ashes. So ashes to the heartburn of the second class could mean that they say that, you know, your second class citizens, what you give to them, they will eventually give back. And then they say murder to their mechanical hips. And if you also think, if you take the whole verse, verse into context, then you will think about your basically your blue collar workers, and your mechanical hips, meaning, you know, you just work, you just go through the motions. So put an end to that. And then they say fire to their rigid lawns and paper trails. Now a little bit of irony there will be, fire will be, if you look at the word rigid, it means it cannot be changed, or it never changes. So a fire to the rigid lawns and the paper trails, which also is the evidence of whatever you left behind, meaning that is the only thing that will change that ever. And then it ends off by saying panic to the sprawling metropolis. You know, if you define the word sprawling, it will tell you that there's nothing, there's no control, it's spreading too fast. In other words, we are basically taking up every part of the land, and we cannot, and we are getting so close to each other that it's scary. Let's carry on. Then they say, it's the boredom that beats you and the sound of it echoes, one after the other collapsing. These Facebrick constellations patronize me. Now, the boredom that beats you, you can take two ways. You can take it in the fighting sense of the way, the boredom that beats you, or you can take it in the competition sense of the way, the boredom that beats you and the sound of it echoes. Basically, when they basically just saying, you know, in their way, how life gets you down. It's the boredom that beats you, and the sound of it echoes, the celebration, what life gets out of getting you down. And then they say one after the other collapsing, and that leads to these if you listen to the way they said one after the other collapsing, these Facebrick constellations, and then they pause. And then they go over to patronize me. Now, what I find funny is, if you look at it in the literal sense of the word, a constellation is a star structure where you can see like patterns in the stars. So, you know, what the band's putting over to you is all these people in their own little houses, in their own little universes, create constellations with their lights on, and one after the other collapsing. You can take back to, you know, when that household goes to sleep, when the light goes off, so the constellation is collapsing. And then they say, oh, it patronizes me, it reminds me of everything that I don't have, it's flaunting it in my face. And also what's actually also interesting is, if you stand on Earth and look up, you'll see the star constellations. But if you look down on Earth, it will resemble the same, with all the little lights that are on the flicker, which is amazing for me. Let's carry on.
The monotony, a backwards revelation, a small time swindle, two-bit operation. A testament to temperament, a tribute to complacence, a needle swiftly puncturing the breastplate.
Okay, then they go on to say, a smear of monotony, a backwards revelation, a small-time swindle, a two-bit operation. I'll go into the rest just now. I'm not going to go through the whole thing and go through it again and again and again and again. The smear of the monotony, tongue twister for me. You know, where they cover up, they cover up their lies and hide their, you know, they smear up the insanity that lives inside by that, like I said earlier in the video, like a fake hello and smile and all that stuff, a backwards revelation, until the point that they have the revelation that they are nobody different than what they actually are. This facade that they're putting on is an absolute joke. And then they say it's a small-time swindle, a two-bit operation. In other words, it's a cheap knockoff of what they really are. Then they carry on to say a testament of temperament, a tribute to complacence, a needle swiftly puncturing the breastplate. Now, when you say a testament to temperament, it means you are basically testifying to who you pretend to be, the temperament that you are forced into. I know there's not a lot of laughs up until now in this video, but I mean, the song is so... A tribute to complacence. Now, the word complacence, for those who don't know what it means, is basically you are satisfied with what you've accomplished. Doesn't matter what it is, you are satisfied. You're complacent in your accomplishments. That's it. Now, that's basically what that line means, a tribute to complacence. In other words, you will tell the world what you are, what you have accomplished, even if it's not much. And then the last line, which is always also a mind-blown moment, a needle swiftly puncturing the breastplate, where they will inject into you what they want you to feel in your heart. And that's it. Okay, they're probably just going to play out the chorus. Let's just give them a little bit. Here we go. Part in the video where I will give you a sneak preview of the lyrics for next week to come. Please comment and tell me who you think it could be. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back. Okay. We'll play a couple of seconds left and then we'll have a little bit of we'll have a little bit of commentary later. Let's go.
Several song-filled hours later.
Okay, yeah, they'll just play out the chorus now. So, to my favorite part of the video, in Afrikaans I would say en nog 'n ding, but we are English now, so and another thing. Okay, we all need to stand in queues, whether you go to the bank, whether you go to the shops, whether you waiting for the lotto, whether you are waiting for the second coming, you will stand in the queue at one point in time. So, there is no need for you to stand here by me. Please, Jesus, please. I normally leave like a ruler's length gap between me and the next person. But then every now and then you'll get someone standing with their tits in your back, like. Please, if you do that, this will happen. Okay? Because for fuck's sakes, there is such a thing as personal space. I don't need your salami breath on my neck here while I'm thinking of what I'm going to make for supper tonight. Or while I'm worrying about, okay, I need to go to the bank now. And so no, I'm at the bank now. I'm stressing, and now I can literally feel your heartbeat at the back of me here. Now people, please, just leave that bit of gap for a person. Oh. Anyway, drop us a like. Please subscribe. Please subscribe if you are still here in the video, because I see my video view lengths are very short. If you want more, please. We really need subscribers and a couple of more views. Share it with everybody. I mean, I'll put this video. I'll put this video on Facebook. Just share it because you can. Anyway, lovely day further. Love you all.